Okay, we're now on to the second part of the web design tutorial, and what we're going to do is we're going to start turning this very basic web page here into our CV, so a little sort of profile of yourself that might help with getting a job. Ideally, this is just a little practice exercise then. So I'm going to change my title to my CV, and in here I'm going to take that paragraph tag out for now because I don't want it in there just yet. What I'm going to introduce you to now are headings. Headings are really important in HTML because they help structure your web page. So there are 6 levels of headings that you're going to need. You probably won't need all 6, but 6 is sort of the limit that we need. So a heading just tells your web page that this is a title or a heading or an important piece of information. So there's 6 different types. H1 being the biggest, most important, and a H6 being the least important. So we'll do a little demonstration of that now, and then you can start to apply it to your CV. So we're going to use our headings like so. So open our angle brackets, do a H1, close the angle brackets, and if you look, it's put my closing tag for me, which is really handy. So for this, I'm going to put this as my title CV. Okay, so I'll save that because I've got the little circle. I will go to my browser and refresh it. So this should change. The title should change there, and this should now become the biggest, most important heading on the web page. I refresh that. There we go. We can change how the headings look much later on, but for now we're just going to focus on building the structure. So I've got that. Underneath that then, I'm going to use a H2. So a H2, I'm going to put all about me, and because it's a heading, I'll use capital letters. Let's save that. Let's jump to here and refresh it. And if you notice, this heading is smaller than that one, but still quite an important piece of information. So the two could be used quite a bit. So what some people get a little bit confused about with the headings is that they can only use them once and you have to work down. You can use H2s and H1s as many times as you like, and we're going to use H2s quite a bit for this. So what I'm going to do now is underneath that, I'll probably want a paragraph telling people all about me. So I'm just going to put a bit of placeholder text in there called lorem ipsum, which is again another one of those web standards, this Latin paragraph, where you can tell it how many paragraphs you'd like and it will make it for you. I just want one. I might generate one paragraph. There we go. And if I copy that, jump back to my work, I can paste that in here, and your work will do the same thing. So what it's done is it's taken the text right the way over to the side. So to fix that, we can go into Edit, View. It's definitely one of these, bear with me a second. View and Word Wrap. So that Word Wrap will basically make your text go to a new line when it gets to the edge of your screen, instead of going right the way across like it did then. I don't know why that's not on by default, but it should be. Click that, and I've now got my paragraph. If you look, there's a P tag there and a P tag there, not at the end of every line, which is another common mistake. Okay, so it's still all inside the body tag. Now, if you find this a bit difficult to read, what you might want to do is give yourself a little bit of spacing, because the spacing won't actually affect your work in terms of how it appears. Some people like to indent the headings and then indent their paragraph. Again, can make it a bit easier to read, but it's up to you. The white space, so that all this empty space, doesn't matter in HTML. If I just save that, and I'll have a look here and refresh it, I've now got a paragraph about me. Now in this, it will go all the way over to the edge of my screen because it doesn't know any formatting. So if you look, if I resize the window, it will resize the paragraph automatically to fit that window. If I do that, it then becomes about as small as it can get. Okay, we haven't given it any style instructions yet, which come later, so don't worry about the way it looks just yet. But there's my first paragraph and heading. Now my next section might well be my qualifications. So I'll use another H2 because I want it to look consistent with the heading before. So H2, there we go. And in here, I'm going to say qualifications. Actually, we'll do skills first. Skills will be a bit easier. You can do qualifications yourself then afterwards. So skills, and then new line. Now my skills I don't want them in a paragraph. What I want them in is a list. Okay, so if I just type IT is one of my skills, if I type what else have I skills? Communication, public speaking, what else have I got in terms of skills? You know what, that'll do for now. I'm not very skilled. If I just save that and show you what that looks like in the browser, it'll be very, very little work done. Yeah. So if you like to put them one after the other, even though I put them on separate lines in my code, because I've not given it any instructions in the code, it puts them one after the other. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to take those out in a second. We're going to put a bullet pointed list in. Now lists are really important again, because we need code for that. I'm just going to indent myself by pressing tab. And here I'm going to have a list. Now there's two types of lists. You can have an ordered list, so that will put things in order. And you can have an unordered list, which will put things with bullet points. Okay, so I'm going to do an unordered list because I want bullet points. So the code for that is angle bracket, UL, close my angle bracket. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to press enter to give me a new line. And if you look, it's indented itself automatically. Then I've got to tell the browser that every item is a list item. So I do that with another angle bracket called LI, which stands for list. And then inside that, I can put my skill. Then I can jump to the end, go to a new line. And I can put communication. Jump to the end, new line. And in there I can put in, I missed my tag in twice. There we go, third time lucky, public speaking. And I'll save that, and I will go to my browser. I will open up this here, like so, and I've now got a bullet pointed list in order. Okay, I will just show you, you don't have to do this bit, but I will show you what an ordered list looks like. So this is an unordered, which is why we've got those bullet points. So they could be in any order, the order is not important. If I change the UL to an OL, change both of them, don't just change the one, otherwise it'll break. Save that. If I jump back, you see what it does with an ordered list. If I refresh, it now orders them 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if you ever need to number things, that's the process you go through for making an ordered list. I'll put it back to unordered with this. And I will go to my next section, just backspace it to there. And my H2 for that one, I need for a space, will be qualifications, like so. And then I would do another unordered list. Maybe you want an ordered list. What you might actually want to do, think about that, is put a H3 in there, so for a slightly smaller heading. And what you might have in there is your A levels. And you would have your list inside there. And then you would have another one, which would be for your GCSEs. And if you've got more qualifications, you can put those in as well. GCSEs. And then if I save that, you'll see how the heading styles change as they go down the page. So less important or less prominent. So I've got my main heading, my next most important heading size, and then like a subheading because they're a bit smaller, which is why I chose the H3. Alright, so you've now got enough to be filling those sections in. You haven't got to use the generator, you can actually write things in yours and start filling in your CV.